Stop failing your factoring quiz. Let me show you how to solve these quadratic equations by factoring. All right, so first we're going to set this quadratic equation equal to 0. So I'm going to subtract 12, and then now 0 is going to be on the right side. So then in order to factor this quadratic, you got to take your C value, which is going to be this value here, negative 12, and then we're going to list the factors of negative 12. Remember, if you are not great at listing the factors, you can just go to y equals in your calculator and type in 12 divided by x and then look at the table. So in your table, you would see 1 and then 12. You would see 2 and then 6. You would see 3 and then 4. And notice how I didn't deal with the negative part, and I'll deal with the negative in just a second. So remember, with factoring, you're going to use the sum and product property that basically states I need two numbers that will add to give me negative 4, but then also those numbers should multiply to give me negative 12. And then if you look through these factors here, the way that we can create negative 4 by adding would be to say 2 plus negative 6 or 2 minus 6. And then also in order to make negative 12 by multiplying, 2 times negative 6 is negative 12. So we have x plus 2, and then we have x minus 6. Now, your solutions are going to come from whenever you set these factors equal to 0 and solve. So here, to get rid of adding 2, we would subtract it, so we get negative 2. To get rid of subtracting 6, you would add it to get positive 6. So these are going to be your solutions, negative 2 and positive 6. So next we have 4x squared minus 20x plus 9 is equal to 0. And notice a is not 1. So since a isn't 1, I'm going to use the slide and divide method. The way this method works is that you're going to take your a value and you're going to slide it over to your c value. And you're going to multiply. So 4 times 9 is going to give me 36. So it's going to be x squared minus 20x plus 36 is equal to 0. And just like before, we're going to take this c value here and list all of our factors. So, like I said before, if you do not know how to find your factors, you can just go to y equals and use that method. So we have 1 times 36, we have 2 times 18, we have 3 times 12, we have 4 times 9, we have 6 times 6. Now remember, you are trying to think of two numbers that you can use in order to add to give you negative 20, but then also multiply to give you 36. And I think we both can agree that it's going to be 2 and then 18. Now they both need to be negative in order for you to get a negative 20 by adding. So these are going to be my factors. I'm going to have x minus 2, and then I'm going to have x minus 18. Now remember, our particular quadratic started off with 4x squared. You're not going to be able to get 4x squared from this. So don't forget, the name is slide and divide. So you're going to divide by what you multiplied by at the very beginning, which is 4. So then once you divide by 4, you're going to get x minus 1/2 times x minus 9 over 2 is equal to 0. Now, we would not leave these factors how they are, but since we're solving, it's okay that you leave them in this format because those are not going to be our answers. So if we set this one equal to 0 and solve, x is going to be 1/2. If we set this equal to 0 and solve, x is going to be equal to 9/2. And then that is it. That's going to be our solution. Now, I am going to work the next two problems in another video, so make sure you follow us now. That way you can come back and check those out. See you next time.